to be told that I'm a walking time bomb for a stroke, I think that was when I went, whoa, I am not happy whatsoever.
Joining with you, obviously I sat there, I watched a couple of your videos, and what it was that certain things that you had said through your videos struck something with me, and there were tears, because it brought back memories of, stuff that you had gone through in your childhood, that I had gone through some similar stuff, and then seeing you kind of come out of that and rising above that. And that's what attracted me to obviously working with you. It was being able to relate, right? And seeing that. So I'm not the only person.
And I would also say that it's not necessarily about struggling, because if you look at my life generally, I'm actually, you would say that I'm doing extremely well, on all kind of, I look good, I have good health, I have more energy than anyone else I pretty much know, amongst my friends at least, or sort of colleagues. I have great reputation at work, I earn good money, I have good family, I'm very close with my daughter, obviously there are areas where I think I want it to be better, but it's not like you're struggling. It's just that you always want more in a good way, because you know that you're not really the person you can be or you're meant to be, and it's coming closer to that person. That's to me, that's the only thing I've realized that actually makes me really, really happy, is when I feel that I'm kind of stepping into my real self more and more, in that mold that was there for me, and then I wasn't in it for different reasons, because of experiences, my own, my family, genetic, all sorts of stuff, as you know.
First, I was sitting there, and I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was complete mojo BS. I mean, I swear to God, it's not rational. But then it happened, and all these other things that, and I was like, whew.
So I messaged Natalie, and I told her, I said, I finally got around to doing it, and I said, this is something that I completely want to do. Like, I want to help people. I see where they're at when I'm working with them, and I see all the damage that has been done to their bodies. And I'm like, I want to help them. I want to help them before they even get to this point. I want to help them before they develop these underlying conditions. Like, I want to help them change where they are now, so they don't have to be the person that their bodies could be. So after talking with Natalie, and this was back in April, and I just started talking with her more and more. And then obviously my own paradigms got in my way when it came time to make the decision. I knew what I wanted, partially because Natalie helped me grow that even more. I knew of what I wanted. I knew what I desired. I wanted to be home with my kids. I wanted to help people. I wanted to make a change in people's lives. And as Natalie talked to me more and more, and I realized something's got to change. And obviously money paradigms got in my way. And those were the things that I always struggled with.
I hate to say it. I run the company. I have 12 agents. I deal with the government. I deal with my agents. I deal with lenders. That's going to be my side business, because I want this to be my primary focus. I want to help women. For me, it's a lot about the fitness. We talked about that. But at the end of the day, the more and more we talk, I realize that it's not only going to be about fitness.
Nat, I suffered from hypothyroid. I was severely anemic. My body wasn't absorbing any vitamins and nutrients as it should. I was suffering from rheumatoid arthritis. I was diagnosed with this rare disorder that I store iron in my brain, which would, from what I understood, would eventually lead me to be crippled. So I honestly got to the point. So before I reached out to Natalie, so I might get emotional here, I got to the point that I could hardly get out of bed in the morning. Like, my kids trying to help me get out of bed. I used to go to bed. I'd have a wrist brace on each brace. I'd have a knee brace on my left knee, a right ankle brace, elbow braces. So now imagine, this is how I come to bed. So imagine my poor husband I'm 43 years old. I'm shuffling my way to bed, all crippled up at 42 years old. And now we're sitting in bed, planning on building a core floor home so we could accommodate a wheelchair. Here I was all crippled up. And I was like, okay, well, I just got to be thankful that I'm mobile. And I figured, okay, well, if I keep exercising, I'll keep my mobility, which I was, but I wasn't rock climbing anymore. I wasn't getting to do anything, the activities that I really loved anymore. Like couldn't bike, nothing, right? So I was definitely not living my best life. And then I believed that this was my truth. So I really was at a point, like I didn't think I didn't know how much longer I was gonna be able to work. So enter Natalie, right? I was so depressed when Natalie came into the picture. I mean, I always had a positive outlook. So I think it was pretty well hidden and people probably didn't really realize to the extent that it was.
My life actually revolved over everybody else except for me. I was too busy taking care of everybody else that I was always on the back burner. But that's pretty much how I was raised. Again, a paradigm. Then I started reading, researching, watching the webinars, and realizing like I'm not going to help anybody else out if I don't take care of myself.
Working with Natalie for me means freedom. It means saying yes to myself every single day. It means seeing more and more what is possible for me instead of what isn't possible.
And I went to go step on the scale and it said 200 point something pounds. I told the guy, whoop, whoop. Well, no, hang on a minute. Literally, I took my watch off, my bracelet, I took my shoes off, I stepped back on the scale. It still said 200 point something. I told him, whoa, wait a minute. I took my shirt off and my shorts off and literally was standing in my underwear and my bra and going, step back on it. It said 199.9. I was like, you can write that paper down. The doctor walked past just at the same time, past the door, and went, what the heck? He was like, you know how these fire people are. I mean, these firefighters are crazy. This girl won't let me write 200 pounds. I said, no, that ain't going on my record. That is crazy.
I was unhappy with my general body appearance, and I was unhappy with my energy levels, the way I was feeling. I knew I wasn't eating right, and I knew I wasn't working out right, so I knew I had to get on the right track. So those were basically why I totally resonated with your program and wanted to reach out.
And a couple days later, there was like the icing on the cake that just like rocked my world. And I went to a patient. I'm giving this patient great care. She broke her leg. I'm giving her medicine. I'm loving on her. We're going to fix her. I'm giving her pain medicine, some nitrous. It's awesome. And she says, boy, you are so much nicer than I envisioned. I said, envision? And she said, yeah, I see you walking out front of the station, smoking cigarettes and waddling. When she said waddling, we all laughed and we choked at it. And I literally got on everything that Natalie and Kevin had and went and rethought about what they had said about the price. And I said, you know what? They got something I got to let go. And I just got to bite the bullet and, you know, make this happen because this is crazy.
For me, obviously, like, yes, I am very successful. We do very, very well in the business that we're in, but it's not my passion. It's not my passion. Ever since I got into, you know, taking care of my own self, my body, okay, not maybe my internal self, my physical self, you know, I gained a love for it. I love dealing with women. So for me, getting into this was more about helping other women to achieve goals that they have that they're afraid to reach out to, because I can continue doing what I'm doing and making 7 figures a year. It's not that big of a deal. I don't love it.
I felt an instant connection with Natalie, and I knew deep down in my soul that I had to work with her. And her calming, kind spirit will help to guide you to uncover all of your potential and realize that, yes, you can make your dreams come true. This is possible for you too.
Like, when I think about it, and I think about like all the steps and everything that have taken place to get to where I am today, you can't say it in one sentence. Like, it's the amount of stuff that has changed my life from, to be getting emotional, the amount of stuff that has changed my life just this year alone, since April, is just like, who's gonna believe it? You know. And
the toughest thing is to be honest with yourself. That was one of my not so good moments, but great moments. You know, to be aware, to find yourself, find your true self, find your happy self.
Once I made the decision to do it, everything changed. So opportunities came forth to me, and then I actually started the program.
It got me to the very deep-rooted issue, right? All my blocks. So you can't just treat the symptoms. You really do have to get to the root of it. And I could have never done this on my own, right? And so I'm ever so grateful for Natalie. And yes, I'm not saying get off all your medications. It's not how it went. You know, it was a whole process. But I honestly can say, like, I have not felt this good, like in my heart and just my body, like all those voices in your head. I think that's been the biggest change. Like, I'd wake up and it was constant, like, voices. They're gone. Like, now really think about that. So imagine waking up in the morning, you get out of bed and you go put your clothes on, and you don't have that voice saying, ugh, oh, I feel whatever, or, you know, all those negative voices, they're gone. So imagine a day without those voices. I mean, like, changed my life.
So it's not really about the salad, and it's not about the food that we're really eating. It's about the mindset, right? The mindset that you have taught me and so many others about. Everything is in our mind. Everything is emotional. Everything, the way we eat, what we eat, how we feel, all starts with our mindset, right? Our mindset is everything. That's where our beliefs start, and our decisions and our patterns. And just, you know, learning all of this from you regarding learning the mindset about our eating habits and the decisions that we make, it has made such an incredible, profound difference in my life in making decisions and how to eat, what to eat, and really paying attention to my feelings and paying attention to my thoughts.
I didn't realize it until my daughter, who is a beautiful, beautiful girl, inside and out, said, "Oh, I'm so ugly." She's 19 years old, and I went, "Excuse me?" I looked at her in the eyes and I said, "I'm sorry." And she looked at me and said, "Mama, what are you talking about?" I said, growing up, I never appreciated my beauty. And I would say it out loud, saying, "You're not beautiful. Oh, I look like crap today." Well, you know what? It shifted onto my daughter.
Natalie is a very wonderful, strong woman that actually cares. She cares so much, and she just knows what to say. She knows what you need to hear to help you personally and individually. So I love her. She's an amazing, strong woman with a big heart, and she's helped me go so far in my business. So stop thinking about it and just do it.
I would say that it's been a journey of self-discovery for a person who basically, I thought I am very I am very aware and way ahead of most people. I don't mean it in a kind of comparative way, but I'm not new to working on myself, to doing mindset work. So it's not like that, but it's just like you manage to say the right thing in the right way, because sometimes it's not the thing that's you never heard. Maybe you have heard it, but it's finding the right way to say it, to illustrate in a particular way, to give some kind of exercise to do that somehow brings it to life. And when you suddenly make a huge breakthrough in understanding what is it that's holding you back, and because once you can see what's holding you back, it's actually so easy to get rid of it. You just it's like ridiculous. You think, oh, seriously? I mean, and now I see what my way of thinking, of relating to people, to myself, been doing. I'm not having that anymore, and that's actually easy. I think the difficult part is to see it, and it's just that you create this environment of safety. So I always felt very safe, like secure, and knowing that I'm not judged, that you're always there for me, that somehow, if we kind of find a blockage and we don't know what to do, that somehow, you will come up with a solution. So I just need to do my part and you do your part, and together that's enough. That's how I feel.
If someone were to like presented something like this to me, like, since I always knew that I wanted something more, I would have been like, like, love my facial expressions. I would have been like, just like, is it possible? Is this what? But the thing is with like Natalie's testimony, and even just seeing Kevin's life change, and just like, you begin to expect things. Like, the thing is that you have to expect things to happen, and like sometimes like those paradigms still kind of get in my way. Like, who are you kidding? And I'm like, no, I expect things to happen. I want this to happen. I know it's going to happen. So, and it's the feeling and emotion like that you have there, that it's like, okay, things are changing. Like, and then sometimes I look, I'm like, has anything changed? And I look back to where I was, and I'm like, holy cow, I'm at home with my children. I'm working from home. Like, I get to do things that I want to do. And there's still things that obviously that I'm growing and working with, because I have to move those paradigms on my way, but it's just mind blowing.
We came up with a formula that was right for me, to choose the right foods that had the right amounts of protein and brain power for me. And that's basically what we did. And Natalie, we did it for a good 6 weeks before we even talked about working out. And that set me on a path that will now never change, because now I eat properly and I feel good. And it really doesn't matter if, those muscles that I was unhappy with before, now I know that I'm feeling good and I'm eating right. So the muscles just come along with it. So I guess brain power and eating right is my answer. And not only that, but you made me realize, like you brought it to my awareness, how much I was really lacking. And we had to strategize, and we did that together to get me, getting the right nutrients to be able to work out.
In my mind, I would say I would start something, and I had the best intentions of following through. But then for some reason, either the goal wasn't big enough, or I got to the point where I got scared and my brain talked me out of doing it. And so I didn't follow through. Not that I didn't have the heart. I mean, I was like all ecstatic, I mean, whoo, I was gonna, conquer the world, and I was gonna be a billionaire, and I was gonna save the world. And then you just hit these little bumps, and then, you listen to your, you got the little angel and the little devil, and they're talking, and, oh yeah, rah, you can do it. Cindy, really? Dude, you're overweight. You're 49 years old. You're in your 40s. There's no way you can lose this weight. You can't be a public speaker. Nobody wants to hear what you got to say. And you just kind of say, well, maybe, and then you try a diet and you might lose 5 or 10 pounds. And then you go back to kind of normal life, and then boom, you gain 10 plus more.
10.
So, you know, it really, I really realized that it was my mind.
Well, I think every time that I either talk to you or we're on here, you give me, maybe I like them, maybe I don't. You give me different ways of, thinking about my shit, right? When I come on and I say to you, okay, this is what happened. And then you're like, okay, hold on. Let's look at it from this way, right? So really, there's something about you that's making you upset because of what somebody said. So it's much deeper, or look at it from a different angle, right? And where they're coming from and what, they've been taught, or their paradigms or their views or whatever, their beliefs. And so I love that, because every time I talk to you, I get a different way of looking at something. Whether I like it or not is a different story. But it's like anything. You see, you put 12 people in a room and everybody will have a different view of what might be happening in a conversation, and being able to have somebody say, okay, stop. Look at it from this point, or see where this is coming from if you look deep down inside you. So you're getting upset because of this. Not really maybe what they said, might not have anything to do with you. It's the stuff that brings up your childhood or something that's happened to you, right? So yeah.
Oh, it's almost like it got me on the track. I mean, I was let's say on a path that split before, and wasn't sure which way I was going to go. And there's a lot of opportunities, so there are a lot of roads. But now I'm set on the path, and it's just like one path, and I'm organized, and the opportunities are coming at me, and I'm able to control them.
How basically we create our own limitations, how a lot of the stuff we think we must do or have to be happy or to deserve love or whatever that is an illusion, and how if you connect to the higher vibration, you can step out of it and you suddenly see all the gazillions of other options you always had, but you were convinced you didn't because you were locked on a lower frequency, and in that frequency they kind of don't exist, if you see what I mean. Instead of just feeling the hurt and maybe doing something about it, I was just like, well, whatever, I don't care, or something. So constant. So of course, and that's why you get trapped emotions, and then that's why you disconnect, because then you create this vacuum between what you actually feel and there's no sort of feedback. Anyway, so with procrastination, I was thinking, of course I procrastinate because some things require dealing with emotions, maybe conversations to be had, maybe decisions to be made. But no, we just push it all down and we're fine, And I always thought it's a great thing, I'm not a moaner, I'm not a complainer, I'm fine, So voila.
You're scared to pass that line, but once you do, you're like, what? Seriously? It was like one of those aha. And just to give you guys a little bit of background, my son's autistic, and for me to help him advocate for himself, I need to be a better me. I need to be a healthier me, because I know I'm awesome. I have to believe it 100%.
Your mind. That's the biggest thing, people. I can tell you that. It's once you change and realize that, you can change how you feel about yourself and see where you're going, you're going to be unstoppable.
I just want to say how much I love working with Natalie Bouchard. She has been so amazing to work with on mindset. I'm a realtor. I'm a busy realtor. I run a real estate business and a real estate team. I also own a staging company, and mindset is everything. And keeping your thoughts in the right place and setting a vision and setting goals. And Natalie has been there for me in such a huge way, holding space and teaching me and showing me the amazing miracles that can happen when you know about mindset.
It has made a profound difference in my life, and here I am, making better choices and and eating so much healthier. And again, you know, I can't thank you enough for teaching me all of this just amazing material.
But anyway, I'm very pleased. What can I say? I'm very pleased about because I feel that I'm getting closer, and I feel lighter, and I feel more connected, I guess. And the other thing is with all this procrastination, because I'm now almost became paranoid in a good way, in the sense that if I start suspecting or noticing, like, okay, wait a minute, I should have done it, and then I didn't do it. Procrastinating. I just like go after it. It's like, no way, I'm not having that. So I guess people bring up like in me like cans of worms, Natalie, but I am very grateful.
What's that? Say it again.
You know the expression to open a can of worms?
I do, I know.
So you kind of keep getting a worm, saying, look at this, Natalie, you have that. I go, no, I don't. And you're like, just ask yourself, like, oh, and then, oh yeah, goodness, look, I have lots of those. Then clean. Then you go again next time. Look, I found another worm. I'm like, oh.
So if I ask you, how do you feel working with me? What would you say?
I love it.
How's this experience been?
Oh no, I love it. You know that. I mean, I love working with you. I love the connection. I love the fact that you're very truthful. The fact that you're very, in Cynthia's word, would be vulnerable. That you don't pretend to be better or different, or and that you. I don't know. I just think. Well, I know that you're just the right person for me. That you really like, sort of almost got my hand and kind of almost pulling me on my path. Like, come on. So yeah, I like that. Obviously, who wouldn't? Yeah.
So with the mindset, I've taken my side business into, it's no longer my side business now. It is going to be a huge part of my life, and I don't call it the side business anymore. So with the mindset, it's made me believe and made me aware that I don't have to have one job and a side business, but I can have it all. I can have it all at once, and I can give it 100%. And that's pretty much what it's become now. That fork in the road is now one big good path, and I'm staying on it.
This content is it's not just you're changing your body, you're changing everything in your whole world.
You could change anything. Just change how you're thinking. Love yourself. I got it on my mirror. I am enough. Anybody that is anyone that's in the top 1% of the world or in the top 10%, they all work on themselves. And that's the biggest thing I realized is they invest in themselves. How many times do you stop at Starbucks and get a bagel and you spent $10, $15 and then you ate out for lunch? When you add it up, you spent $200, $250, $300 by the end of the week on junk, literally eating out, doing all this stuff. Just trust me. You're worth it. Yeah. You are worth it. You might not feel like you're worth it, guys.
You are more than what you could ever imagine yourself to be. So that's just kind of where I'm at, and just continuing to grow. And I love how Bob Proctor says, and it might have been him who quoted something else, but just like, if you're not growing, you're dying. And as I think about that, I'm like, that is so true. Like if we're just sitting in the same thing over and over and over again, there's no growth. But when you start to explore your imagination to grow, you're thriving, you're alive, you're alive. You're like, and you'll start to see everything around you just start to take its place, and then things grow from there and even your financial world will change. So that's kind of neat too. So once you like break out of yourself and allow yourself to grow,
and you know how powerful you really are. So if you're thinking of working with Natalie, stop thinking about it and do it, because you are going to see all of your dreams and goals come true. And you better be having your mind in the right place, because anything we think will come through true, good or bad. So I think having somebody there to guide you, like Natalie, is very important. And then you're going to learn how to do it, and you'll be able to fly on your own.
We don't invest in ourselves at all. We're always taught, right? If you have kids, kids come first, your family comes first, everything comes before you. And that's just not the case. And I think more and more women are obviously taking things into their own hands now. They realize that they have to put themselves first. I think more so today than they did in the past, right? When you put yourself first, everything else falls in line.
You're going to go, wow, that, man, how they present it, just, man, it's hard to, it just really makes you go, wow, this makes sense. This is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, man, I can't say enough. Just jump. I promise you, just jump. And if 6 months it ain't working, call me. I'll reimburse you your money. I don't have a problem because I know you're not going to ask me for my money back. You and I will be best buddy. You're going to call and say, Cindy, oh my God, you're my hero.
You know, Cindy doesn't work with us. She's our client. And
Yeah,
just wondering, like, why is she reimbursing? Like, she's just, because she's just basically saying that this is how certain she knows that once you get on this journey, you will clearly see that this is the way.